What's up, everybody?
Welcome to the pit.
What's today? Well, it's deadlift day, of course.
My favorite day.
And it is my favorite day. So, we're going to pick up where we left off last week. Trying to get back in the groove of my old program. What we'll do today is we'll warm up, get to a good, final, heavy working set. And I'll try to take that somewhere between 5 and 8 reps. Boom. Now, last week I had 455 on the bar. Now look, that's not a great amount of number, especially for somebody that's in powerlifting. There are a lot of people that can lift more weight than that. But right now, I'm just struggling, okay? I'm struggling to get back up to some numbers. I haven't figured out why I've lost a little bit of strength. Personally, I think it's probably due to some overtraining. I have accessory exercises that actually come after my main lift. Most people do, most powerlifters do. What I'm really doing, probably by definition, is actually power building. I have some bodybuilding techniques intertwined into my powerlifting routine because, look, I have no desire to be the strongest man in my state. You know, sure, I mean, I'd take it if they was just handing it out, but I'm not going to push my body that far because you have to do a lot of stuff that's harmful to your body on a level that I'm just not willing to do in order to get that strong. You get what I'm saying? I'm happy just being one of the strongest guys in the room. You know, that's fine. You know, it makes me feel good about myself. You know, it allows me to do a lot of things that other people just can't do. And I'm happy with it. And hey, what else can I say? As long as you're taking care of your responsibilities in life, happiness is probably the secondary goal, right? Responsibilities first, happiness second. And that's fine, that's great. I promise you, taking care of your responsibilities will make you happy. But I wandered off on a philosophical level of things, and I'm just talking about weight training. But weight training has been shown to be some of the best therapy, if not the best therapy, that you can subject yourself to. Mentally, physically, spiritually. You know, I mean, I've heard many people say on these videos that are citing study after study, and there's no medication out there that can compare to the effects that weight training have on your mind, your body, and your spirit. Okay? Remember that.
Let's go.
Unless you're just going to wear straps all the time, and even if you are, you want a strong grip, okay? I don't care if you're a man or a woman or whatever. You need a strong grip, okay? When you shake somebody's hand or when you're just doing something. You don't want shit slipping out of your hands all the time. You want a strong grip. So, my suggestion is this. When you're warming up, warm up without straps as much as you can. And don't put straps on until your grips start to give out. Okay, that way you know you've exercised your grip, you're strengthening it, and then you can put straps on and continue your lift. That way your grip is not the mitigating factor in how strong your back gets because your grip gave out. Your grip's going to give out long before your back gives out, okay? That's just the way that it is. And train your grip overhanded as much as you can until you get to the point to where you got to turn it around, and then train that one as long as you can, and then put straps on. That way you're training your grip as much as possible. Also, I recommend training without a belt as long as you can in your workout that day. Warm up as long as you can without the belt. That way you're not letting your abdominal muscles rely on the belt to get stronger and tighter. It's not a bad thing, okay? The next set, I'll have my belt on. Try to lift it with a palms down grip for a couple reps. I might turn my wrist up to get maybe one more rep if I have to. And then I'm gonna move on to my final working set. And I'm gonna go ahead and put on straps for that. That way my grip's not holding me back. And I'm gonna tell you something. If your body thinks that your grip is not tight or secure, it will send signals to your body that will tell it, hey, don't lift up this weight. You can't lift this weight because your grip's not equal to the potential of your body, and it's kind of a safety mechanism. You ever find yourself struggling with the weight and you're like, I know I can lift this, but I don't know what's up. And your grip's kind of not what it ought to be. Go put some straps on. I bet you'll see that you can actually lift it. Because then your brain's like, oh yeah, I'm hooked up good to the bar. At least that's been my experience. That felt good. Overhand, no over and under. My grip felt strong. That's good. That's a sure sign you're getting stronger, when your grip don't feel shaky and weak. That's also a good sign that your central nervous system is not on the brink of failure, when your grip's strong. If you are into using straps and stuff, need to get you some of these. These Cobra grips are awesome. My brother sent them to me as a gift. And buddy, they're great. There's a lot of people that are going to poo-poo on your deadlift if you touch and go instead of reset every time. But look, well, they're going to call it bouncing. They're going to say, you're bouncing the weight. Rewind that. I challenge you to see where that weight bounced. You go down, you barely touched it to the ground. That way there is no bounce and no momentum helping you. And that way your body is constantly holding the tension of that weight from the very first rep to the very last rep. There's no release and rest. Release and rest. There's none of that. They want you to reset on every deadlift. And I get that. And I train that way a lot. With this technique, my spring is always loaded and I can eke out 1 or 2 more reps at the end. Well, if I can get out 1 or 2 more reps at the end, put my body through that extra stimulus during the same set, isn't that the name of the game? Ain't that what it's all about? What I'm trying to say is this. What is more beneficial to building your strength up, to getting your deadlift numbers higher? Doing 5 reps and resetting every time, or doing 7 reps with touching the weight to the ground and coming up and keeping constant pressure and tension on your muscles? What's more beneficial? Greater time under tension while lifting the same weight for more reps, or resetting every time and taking a second or 2 break in between each rep? And think about it on the cardiovascular side. What taxes your cardiovascular system more? Doing 7 reps with constant pressure with the same weight, or doing 5 reps, taking a break in between each rep? You get what I'm saying? I've done one for years, the touch and go method, and then here recently I've been doing the down and reset method. And that's the one I teach to the guys I train, because I do believe that it builds technique better than the touch and go method. But once you've got your technique down, does it matter? I haven't found that it matters. And frankly, I think you'll get a little stronger doing it. I really do. Again, more time under tension with the same weight with 1 or 2 more reps per set. How can you not get stronger that way? That's literally how people train to get stronger. So what's the difference for the deadlift? It is a unique exercise. I get that. The mechanics of it are unique. But that doesn't mean the fundamentals are different. That doesn't mean that it affects your muscles in a different fundamental nature. Anyway, that's something that I've been mulling over for a long time. I just thought I'd share it with you. And again, I'm not saying that I'm 100% correct in this, but I don't think I'm wrong. I mean, years of practical application have not shown me that much of a difference. And again, if any difference, it shows me that the touch and go method might make you a little stronger. And I can already hear it. Well, that's not the way the professionals train. I've seen professionals train every which way you can think of. From doing 10 sets of 2 to 7 sets of 3 to touch and go to this to that to using bands to using the slide the weight on, slide the weight off method where you got partners constantly replacing the weight and taking the weight off as you do your reps. I've seen all that kind of stuff. But yet there are people out there just achieving the same goals, doing it the tried and true standard way. Anyway, mull it over. See if that makes sense to you. Or maybe it won't. Anyway, later. Here's another point I want to make to you OGs in the powerlifting community. Anybody that argues that the touch and go method is detrimental to keeping your form down and keeping your form good and on track, why do I see you guys using this bar all the time? Huh? I see all kinds of powerlifters using that bar all the time. You can't use it in competition. Won't using that bar throw off your technique? It's just another tool to get stronger, just like that touch and go method that I'm talking about. Look, folks, there's just way too much content in this video to just have one video. I'm gonna have to break it up into 2 videos. You know, I was talking about the touch and go method versus the reset method on deadlifts, talking about straps versus no straps and how you need to strengthen your grip. Also, I'm gonna go into the 1 set to failure, Mike Mentzer, Arthur Jones, Dorian Yates method, you know. And I'm going to go into some detail on some other stuff too. So I'm just going to have to make 2 videos. So stand by for part 2. It's coming. Boom. And remember, never be afraid
to get in the pit.